This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.
.45. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. Here is the news edited by Lal Malwarachi and read by J. Yogaraj. First, the headlines. Minister Dinesh Gunawardena says government rejects false accusations in the report of UN Human Rights Commissioner. Plastic imports cost over 184 billion rupees from 2012 to 2018. The government has decided to modernize the Sri Lanka police by changing the existing traditional methods. E-ticket will be introduced for public transport. News overseas, Biden signs $1.9 trillion relief bill into law. And those are the headlines. Minister Dinesh Gunawardena says that there is no agreement now among some countries about the content of the Geneva proposal against Sri Lanka, for which they earlier agreed. The minister further said that the government rejected false accusations in the report of the UN Human Rights Commissioner. The 46th session of the UN Human Rights Council commenced on the 22nd of last month in Geneva. It will be held until 23rd of this month. Minister Dinesh Gunawardena addressed the session online recently. The government has decided to modernize the Sri Lanka police by changing the existing traditional methods. It has been decided to make the traffic handling process of Sri Lanka police more efficient and productive by introducing modern methods in handling traffic. The Cabinet of Ministers granted their consent to the proposal made by Public Security Minister Rear Admiral Sarath Weerasekara to appoint a steering committee to design a project to monitor and implement the overall modernization of the police, prioritizing traffic and the Road Safety Division, Co-Cabinet Spokesman Plantations Minister Dr. Ramesh Patirana said. He said that the Sri Lanka Police is a leading body empowered to ensure the safety and security of the public and to maintain law and order. The Ministry of Transport has planned to introduce e-ticket for public transport. Minister Gamini Lokage says the pilot project in this connection will be implemented without delay. Several rounds of discussions have been conducted in this regard, and several positive decisions have already been taken. This news comes to you from Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.
Get a home loan now with attractive interest rates only from People's Home Loan.
Chief Medical Officer of the Colombo Municipal Council, Dr. Ruwan Vijayamuni, says that the spread of the COVID-19 in the Colombo city has been successfully controlled due to the expedited vaccination program. Yesterday was the last day to vaccinate the people in the age group between 30 and 59 years in the Colombo district. 95,000 have been vaccinated so far. Vaccination of those who are above 60 years will commence tomorrow. The government plans to resume direct flights from Jaffna to Chennai, which were suspended due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Tourist Minister Prasanna Ranatunga says that this is expected to be launched under the tourist air bubble concept. And there are also plans to launch domestic flights between Bratmlan, Jaffna, Batticaloa soon. The Jaffna and Batticaloa airports are also expected to be developed as international airports, he added. He was speaking at the inauguration of the 144 intermediate housing units for Madhu pilgrims built at a cost of 300 million rupees with the assistance of Indian government. The Janata Vimukti Peramuna will lodge a complaint in the Supreme Court that the government has lost 15.9 billion rupees in a tax evasion imposed on imported sugar, and that the people have not received the relief. The complaint will be filed today with the participation of the party Politburo member Sunil Handunetti and Central Committee member Sunil Watagela. President Gotabaya Rajapaksa, Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa, Secretary to the President P.B. Jayasundara, Secretary to the Finance Ministry S.R. Artigala, former CWE Chairman Nushad Pereira, Wilmar Company Chairman Sajat Mausoon, Consumer Affairs Authority Chairman Shanta Disanayaka and the Attorney General are the respondents in the complaint. And that's local news.
Pay the interest on your own home without paying rent for someone else's. Get a home loan now with attractive interest rates only from People's Home Loan. Enjoy the option of paying only the interest for the first 5 years.
A mother knows the pain of each member of the family. Siddhalepa, the trusted relief for aches and pains.
An effective therapy for relief from cold, sneezing, flu, headaches, swelling due to toothaches, rheumatic, discomforts, and muscular aches and pains. Siddhalepa, the Vedha Mahatmya in every home.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedha Mahatmya.
The total amount of plastic imported into the country from 2012 to 2018 was 3,353.8 million kilograms at a cost of over 184 billion rupees. This was revealed during a recent Committee on Public Enterprises meeting. The COPE observed that the current plastic import volumes were at an unbearable level due to the improper implementation of waste management, resulting in significant environmental degradation. The COPE directed the Central Environmental Authority to discourage the import of polythene raw materials and to provide and promote eco-friendly replacement products to consumers. And that's main news.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedha Mahatmya.
Brush your teeth twice a day for healthy teeth and gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, your trusted brands in oral care for many years.
Supiriviki Ayurvedic toothpaste for adults. Kakulu Ayurvedic toothpaste for kids. 9 Ayurvedic ingredients of Supiriviki will protect your teeth and strengthen your gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, products from Siddhalepa.
In Watchlight, people in Homagama area complain that there are no enough buses along the Homagama-Abrakada 698 bus route. And this has caused immense difficulties to people living in Ranala, Milagama, Jayamawata and Abrakada. And this is for the attention of the SLTB Homagama Depot Superintendent. And that came to you in Watchlight.
World News. Brought to you by courtesy of...
From the first step you take till the time we meet, the trusted leader prioritizes you always. All you need under one roof. People's Leasing, the trusted leader.
World News headlines first. Biden signs a $1.9 trillion relief bill into law. Oxford AstraZeneca. EU says no indication vaccine linked to clots. France eases travel for UK and 6 other countries. And those are the headlines. US President Joe Biden has signed a $1.9 trillion economic relief bill that aims to help Americans impacted by the COVID-19 pandemic into law. The bill includes $1,400 payments, an extension of jobless benefits, and a child tax credit that is expected to lift millions out of poverty. Mr. Biden said that the relief package will rebuild the backbone of this country. There is no indication that the Oxford AstraZeneca COVID-19 vaccine is linked to an increased risk of blood clots, the EU's medicines regulator says. It says the number of cases in vaccinated people was no higher than in the general population. The statement came after a number of countries, including Denmark and Norway, suspended the use of the jab. The suspension followed reports that a small number of people has developed clots after receiving the vaccine. France is to ease restrictions on travel to and from 7 countries outside the EU, including the UK. The Foreign Ministry says a compelling reason was no longer needed for travel to Australia, Israel, Japan, Singapore, South Korea, New Zealand and Britain. All non-essential travel was banned by the French government on 31st January as it tried to curb the spread of COVID-19 variants, including the UK variant. And that's World News.
World News. Brought to you by courtesy of...
From the first step you take till the time we meet, the trusted leader prioritizes you always. All you need under one roof. People's Leasing, the trusted leader.
Development News is brought to you by Live Year along with CIB from 1st to 15th March. Valuable gifts for every bill payment. Our products, our place. CIB.
The government plans to resume direct flights from Jaffna to Chennai, which was suspended due to COVID-19 pandemic. Tourist Minister Prasanna Rantunga says that this is expected to be launched under the tourist air bubble concept. And there are also plans to soon launch domestic flights between Ratnam, Jaffna and Batticaloa. The Jaffna and Batticaloa airports are also expected to be developed as international airports, he added. And that came to you in Development News.
Development News was brought to you by Live Year along with CIB from 1st to 15th March. Valuable gifts for every bill payment. Our products, our place. CIB.
In sports, the second ODI between Sri Lanka and West Indies will be played today in Antigua. The match begins at 7 p.m. Sri Lankan time. The West Indies team has secured a comfortable win in the first ODI against Sri Lanka. And that's sports news.
Contributory deposit of 1,000 rupees from NSB when your child enters grade 1. Open a Hapan Children's Service account for your kid today. Higher interest. Conditions apply. Business News. Sponsored by National Savings Bank. The safest place for your money.
DSI Tires, the flagship brand of Samson Rubber Industries and market leader for tires and tubes, was a recipient of the Gold Award in Rubber Tires and Accessories sector, extra large category at the 28th Annual NCE Export Awards 2020. The premier awards ceremony conducted by the National Chamber of Exporters, specially designed to recognize and reward outstanding performance of exporters of Sri Lanka, was held at Shangri-La Hotel recently. And that's Business News.
Business News. Sponsored by National Savings Bank. The safest place for your money. Contributory deposit of 1,000 rupees from NSB when your child enters grade 1. Open a Hapan Children's Service account for your kid today. Higher interest. Conditions apply.
Economic News, courtesy of...
Congratulations on your promotion. It will be our treat, huh?
How about today?
Oh no, I was just joking.
It's fine. I have my LOLC credit card with me. Let's go out today.
Introducing LOLC Finance Credit Cards. Fuel the goodness in you.
The Friedrich Neumann Foundation, FNF, has organized an online business dialogue under the topic Restart Asian Economies. Ideas and actions for the tea industry on the 15th March 2021 from 1700 hours to 1830 hours. Tea is the most consumed beverage in the world, second only to water. With such large-scale use, the production of tea is dominated by a few countries. South Asia as a region is fortunate to produce high-quality tea. India, Sri Lanka are among the top 5 exporters of tea in the world. And that's Economic News.
Hello, Puta. Did you land already?
No, Amma. We're in transit and our flight got delayed.
Oh, really? How is Shani? Poor thing with her pregnancy. She might be feeling very uncomfortable. The airport must be heavily crowded because it's a season.
Amma, calm down. Everything is sorted. Why, I have my LOLC World Card with me. We are at the VIP lounge. There's nothing to worry.
Those who spread goodness radiate happiness to everyone around them. Introducing LOLC Finance Credit Cards. Fuel the goodness in you.
Finally, in the weather report, the Met Department says few showers will occur in eastern and Uva provinces and in Nuwara Matale and Polonnaruwa districts. Showers or thunder showers will occur at several places in Sabaragamu, western and northwestern provinces and in Galle, Mathura and Kandy districts after 1 p.m. Fairly heavy falls above 50 millimeters can be expected at some places in these areas. Before we wind up this news broadcast, let's look at the main points once again. Minister Dinesh Gunawardena says government rejects false accusations in the report of the UN Human Rights Commissioner. Plastic imports cost over 184 billion rupees from 2012 to 2018. The government has decided to modernize the Sri Lanka police by changing the existing traditional methods. E-ticket will be introduced for public transport. News overseas, Biden signs $1.9 trillion relief bill into law. And with that, we conclude this morning news broadcast of Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.